What's going on, people? What is up? Got a good show for y'all today. Special guest in the house who's going to be checking in with us later. But yeah, how's everybody doing? I'm going to do a little recap tonight. I ain't going to lie to you. I don't want Ray to be biased, but I would love to do like a predict. Excuse me. excuse me. I would love to do a prediction for team rankings. I just don't know the teams that well. I could root for them. What up, Dave? What up, Monty? My guys. Those are my guys, Dave and Monty. Big shout out to Gatekeepers. But yeah, I would love to do a recap on team rankings. Like I said, I just don't know the teams that well. That is it. But yeah, how's everybody week been? Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Mine was good. Slept. What up? What up, Freeman? Yeah, I would love to do a team rankings. I mean, that's one thing I would. Hey, Leonard, if you could, hey, Leonard, if you could keep it under 10 minutes, we would love to do. Because I know you know the teams very well, Leonard. I don't think nobody knows the teams as well as you. Hey, y'all don't be hating on my mug neither. I don't want to see no. Hey, it's my mug. But yeah, it's a lot of new teams out there in team rankings. Speaking of gatekeepers, shout out to Miss Rona for defending the title against Janaya, who is on the Outsiders. But yeah, we definitely want to shout out Miss Rona. Miss Rona is one of the nicest people you'll meet. Hell of a bowler. Hell of a bowler. She did a gentleman's sweep on Janaya. Me and her had a good laugh about the match. I saw her in Houston. Shout out to TNBA. I know I criticized them a lot, but I bowled a TNBA SRT, and I had a good time. I had a really, really, really good time. Not just because I bowled well, and we're gonna get into that a little later, but I just naturally had a good time. Like it was it was. Oh, I do know Leonard and Ray got a team rankings match. but TNBA in Houston was a good time. Big shout out to Houston. I had a ball in Houston. Oops. It was very, very well, I met a lot of my TikTok friends that I've never met up there. It was like one of those, hey, I recognize you. It was like, I recognize you. And then there was a couple of people like, hey, do you follow me? If not, follow me. And then when I look it up, I was already following them and they was already following me. So big shout out to Bowling TikTok. What up, Garland? It's my guy. Yeah, Houston was interesting. I had a good time though. Like overall, I think I really had a good time because I went there with no expectations. Like I went out there to actually literally have a good time. And I did. I got to hang with some people I don't normally hang with. Like I said, I got to meet some new people. So TNBA, big shout out to the culture of TNBA. If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm like, well, no. I'm gonna get into it. The reason why I say the culture of it, and I'm gonna get into it. It's beautiful to see when my people of my black people can get together and we see talented bowling at a high level. We see us coming together doing something we love. It's us um, appreciating each other. I've seen a lot of flowers getting given out there. I've seen a lot of people praising each other. Shout out to Tyrone Stevens, Hall of Famer. He got inducted to the Hall of Fame. I was a little upset about that because I wanted to go, and I didn't know I had to bowl. So I brought I brought like a shirt, tie, suit. Like I was pissed I didn't get to wear it. I wanted to. I really wanted to go, and but we was already scheduled to bowl, so that's why I wasn't able to make it to the ceremony, and I was highly disappointed at that. Was highly disappointed that I didn't get to go. But big shout out to Tyrone Stevens. Um, he got inducted into the Hall of Fame, another Hall of Fame, well deserved. And I think his team ended up winning first. He had an amazing team that put up big numbers. But I do see that too, Monty. Yes, TNBA is getting younger. Even though they still had the wooden spoon grandmas out there, but TNBA, from what I've been to, it is definitely getting better than what it was. I had a good time. I didn't see a lot of issues out there. Houston's house is very interesting. That shot in Houston, it was hooking. Like there was to me, it seemed like there was barely any oil in that front part of that lane, or what some people will call the fronts. But it was barely any oil. So it was hooking as soon as your ball touched down. So I am glad that I got to sit and watch a full set before I bowled, because that definitely helped me. Definitely helped me. I had a ball at Battle of the Sexes, even though the ladies tried to bully me, but that's all right. Yeah, they got them scores. Yeah, they got. I think. Yeah, I could agree. I could agree with this, but like I said, we talk about them a lot, but I just had to give them their props this weekend. Um, the singles and doubles house though. The singles and doubles house, it was the singles and doubles house was a challenge. The approaches seemed to me a little bit shorter, so I had to make choppier steps, which was causing me a lot of knee pain at first. So the team house, it was. I feel like if I would have went there and bowled, or had um, a second day or a second squad in the team in the singles and doubles house, I think I could have been better that second time around. But not knowing, and yeah, my knee was throbbing after the end of that singles and doubles house. I see Tyrone just got on. Shout out once again while he's up here. I want to say shout out to Tyrone for getting inducted into the TNBA Hall of Fame. That is big. He's already, I know, out here in the USBC Hall of Fame. But to get inducted into another Hall of Fame, that has to be an amazing feeling. Um, I hope one day I'm blessed to, have that, but I have a lot of work to do before I can even catch that man or get into that realm of even talking about my name with the Hall of Fame. So, but I strive, and I who was I talking to? I think I was talking to Don. I was talking to Don, and I told this to Tyrone a couple of times. With me being 39. And I know Tyrone, he just had his birthday is right before mine. And I know Don is a little bit older than me. But I always tell them, and I was telling Don this, and I've told Tyrone this in the past, that looking up to see that y'all are older than me and are getting better, it gives people around my age a lot of hope, that this game is I can still evolve in this game. I played basketball and I feel like I aged out of basketball. My body aged out of basketball. I can't jump and run like I used to. Softball, same thing. I notice I'm a step slower than what I used to be. But when I see Tyrone, Don, Darren, a lot of our seniors, bowlers, Mr. Ike Reese, it gives me a lot of hope. It makes me want to practice and stay in this game even more, because I see them guys just getting better as time goes on, and just to know that is a possibility for me even at my age. Them guys are great to look up to, and whenever I'm bowling beside them or whenever they're dropping jewels and giving advice, man, I take it all in and I do not take that for granted. So big shout out to the older generation that are still putting in the work, still practicing, still doing this at a high level. Because it's refreshing to see that, like, I can still get better. And like he just said, if you take care of your health, and because Tyrone, if he wouldn't have told me, I wouldn't have never thought he was over 40, over 45. I would have never guessed that if he wouldn't have told me his age, because he does take care of his health, and same thing for Darren. A lot of people don't know, like my uncle and a lot of people who I referee with used to play with Darren in football. And before I officially met Darren, they were telling me, "Hey man, this is guy that bowls, and he used to play football." And if you look at Darren now, and I'm talking about Darren Russell, Darren he looked like an action figure. Like when you stand close to him, like he makes me want to do a couple of push-ups. Like Darren is that guy. And then the stories I used to hear about him, I think he was a linebacker. So the stories I hear of him on the football field, man, like his Darren was the real deal. Darren was the real deal. So like if you ever I got to bowl with Darren, and if you close to him and you see how he is up close and you look at them arms, he looked just like an action figure. Like he that guy is huge. So, but like you said, if you taking care of your body. I know I've been talking to Nick Reed a lot. We've been kind of like holding each other accountable when it comes to health and eating better. Because like I said, when you look at guys like Tyrone still getting better, still, hey, that man got a video out where he told somebody not to get in brackets. That is crazy. And then shot 300. And I like that is that is nuts. Like to actually sit there, somebody's literally filling out their sheet and he taps them and be like, "Hey dog, I don't think you might want to save your money." Like that, that's crazy at that age, So big shout out to Tyrone for being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Big shout out to the TNBA. Shout out to Houston, because let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I don't know, out here in Atlanta, man, our food is trash. Like the food out here is trash. Trash. Like one thing about one thing about Houston, it is a lot of seasoning. Like that, they season their food. Like man, that food in Houston was short of amazing. You hear me? As I'm just talking about health and stuff, but y'all gotta bear with me. Like I said, I'm working on it. But that food out there was amazing. Was amazing. Like that food was good. Houston, I gotta go back and try some other stuff because like that food was good out there. So Houston, big shout out to Houston. Um, Want to get into these predictions um real quick. So we got a tour stop coming up. Yeah, hey man, leave my cheeseburger cup alone. We got a tour stop coming up, which is position round. Um, and oh, yeah, I heard that conversation too. Tyrone said Houston said they coming over to take over the Rodman. They coming to the Rodman and going to take it over. And he said they're wrong. You got to go through Atlanta for that. Mm. Hey, I'll be at the Rodman this year. Yep, I will be there. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it, just to experience it. But yeah, I'm going there. I'm in the gym, going to. I'm going. I'm not going there to play or try to be blinded by the lights. Like I'm going there to compete. So I know I got some work to do. I got 3 months to really start hitting it. Um, and I'm going there. I'm taking it serious. I'll be working, practicing. Yeah, we got a group coming, Tyrone. We got a group coming, a big group. So I just hope as always, I just hope they stick with it. But we got a big group coming. Let me pause that. But I'm taking it serious. I'm taking it serious. So, but yeah, we got a tour stop coming up Sundays. Our first position round. Um, I am I am looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. I have been I we've talked about Lilburn last week. That stop, man, that stop was like I said, if there was a stop to come out and have the production crew, it would have been that stop. You're not going to be able to recreate that energy. You got to understand, like I said, you had two types of energy in there. You had well, let me be honest with you. Um, Lil Burn took over the house because DSL Outsiders match was one of the most exciting matches of since I've been in the UBA. It overtook the Outsiders versus Complete Anarchy. That match was crazy. You had a lot of situations going on. You had DSL, which is the big brother, and the little brother, the Outsiders, going back and forth. Where we both was founded from really the Outsiders was really founded in Lilburn. So you had that dynamic. Then you had Critical Role, who bows well at Lilburn against Southern Asylum. And they did exactly what I thought with Darren shooting a 300. Then you had Southern Listic feeling comfortable. They bowl well at Lilburn. They have Lilburn bowlers. Um, and then you had the striking results who bowled very well at Lilburn also. They just, I ain't gonna lie, they kind of ran through top shelf. And then you probably have also full throttle demolishing the one straight annihilation when they had my man go what five my man was 578 at the turn and then hurts his knee in the third or fourth frame of the next game and have to sit out. Like that is crazy. So it was a lot of strikes going on. So the guy, yeah, he went 300, 278. So it was a lot of striking going on. But that Outsiders DSL match can be heard all the way to the opposite end and outside. Like that match was amazing. But we have a rematch. Like I said, I don't think you're going to be able to recreate that energy that was in the building. Just because, like I said, it was at Lilburn and both teams were really founded at Lilburn, big brother, little brother team. So, but because of course, yes, we've bowled each other before. We bowled at Southern Lanes last year, first stop, and they beat us by 2 pins. And where I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jaime came in second and third game and shot like 525, 30 something. So like they've done, like there's been some amazing things that happen when we bowl each other. But we get to bowl each other again Sunday. Y'all know me, I don't predict my own matches, so that's why I wanted to say that one first. So like we have the Outsiders there. Dirty South is the number 3 seed right now, the third, and Outsiders is 4. So that is going to be exciting. Looking forward to that match. I've talked to some people who's in that, both parties already talking. So it's going to be exciting. But I'm gonna start from the bottom and work my way up. We got the ones and bad intentions. This is a tough one. At Norcross. I'm not gonna lie, this is a tough one, but my gut is telling me bad intentions will get their first win. I know some stuff about this house, and I'm looking at how people play and where they play at. Being the fact we have another tour stop at this place and at the end of the year. After that, I will tell you what I know and how I came up with my prediction. So there's some stuff I know, but I'm not going to reveal yet. But I honestly think Bad Intentions will win that match. They will get their first victory of the year. Now, here's going to be probably the most exciting match of the day. And that's going to be Full Throttle, which is the 7 seed. And Critical Role, who is the 8th seed. So this is going to be, I think this, if y'all seen the video I posted, Garland and Darnell Logan are already going at it about this match. You had Garland pacing around. Can't wait to Sunday. This is going to be a good match. This is going to be a loud match. I think Critical Role and Full Throttle. If Critical Role is taking this serious, I have Critical Role. But I think either way, I think Critical Role is going to overtake Full Throttle. I think it's going to be an exciting one. I think it's going to be loud, very loud. This one will be. And you're right. It's you're right. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. You got to think, this is not right. This isn't week 10. Like week 10, you're right. But this is only week 5, week 4. This is our 4th stop. So I get it. Like, but the conversation, the talk, the way, because you got to think, hey, depending on what happened, I don't have the standings right in front of me. But depending on what has happened, a team could jump from 8th all the way to 4th. Yeah, they could jump from 8th to 4th. Let me see if I got the standings somewhere. Let me see. But yeah, but that's why I think, like I said, a lot of y'all aren't out here. So y'all don't get to see the talk. You don't get to see, a lot of the stuff that be going on out here. Because you gotta think a lot of us both lead together. Yeah. A lot of us both lead together. So y'all don't get to see like there was little certain matches beforehand, little league inside of league matches and stuff like that. I don't have it. Let me get it real quick. But so it's Mr. Sue Hill. I'm gonna see you next Friday. How you doing? Um, but yeah, it's um, but yeah, the atmosphere, yeah, the atmosphere is here. So you gotta understand it's okay. Here it is. The atmosphere, the talk. Hey, it's just we just waiting on that day. Once that day comes, hey, all that talk go out the window and it's time. So we're okay. So all right. So right now, Critical Role is only 24 points out of a playoff spot. Yeah. And Full Throttle is 18 points. So yeah, a 7 and 8 matchup can be exciting because of that. That makes it exciting because like that 7 and 8 matchup, sure, a lot could happen. A lot these standings, looking at these standings, is very close. We got striking results with 84, top shelf with 80. Um, DSL was 74, the Outsiders was 62, Southern Listics was 60, Southern Asylum 58, Full Throttle 56, Critical Role 50, the ones 50, and Bad Intentions at 26. So I ain't gonna lie, 1 through 9, it, it's close. It's close. So, but it's close all the way around. Like that's what I be trying to tell y'all. The Georgia, it's not sweet out here on at this point. It's the reason y'all don't come out here. But that's how close it is. But I digress. But I think that's gonna be the match of the day. Full Throttle, Critical Role. And then we have Southern Listics and Southern Asylum. This is a tough one too. This a this a tough one too. Hmm. Let me see. Hey, Southern Listics and Southern Asylum. Hmm. I'm gonna go with Southern Asylum. First, Clyde was at Clyde was at Top Golf. But hold on, let me. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Southern Asylum on that one. I'm gonna go with the experience. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the experience over with it being the first tour stop. But real quick too, yeah, that's the last one I think. Yeah, that was the last one. Southern Asylum and Southern Listics. So right, oh, striking results and top shelf. I'm going with striking results, just for that house. So right now I got striking results, the Southern Asylum, Critical Role, and Bad Intentions. So right now I think I am 11-2 this year. So that's a good one. So, but also want to say shout out to Quincy's. Quincy threw his first tournament, had a 90 something bowlers out there. I had a ball. I mean, I had a ball. Had a ball. Uh-oh. Our guest was here. Something happened. Let me see. Oh, there he goes. All right. And I told y'all we was gonna have a special guest. Hold on. I gotta put on his theme music. Well, after the commercial plays, of course. You know, YouTube be tripping now. Yeah. Old Spice. Wow. They really gonna go. But yeah, shout out to Quincy in his tournament. I had a ball there. Very good tournament. But with that being said, like I said, we got a special guest in the house. Play his theme music. Uh-oh. It said the champ is here. The one and only Mr. Juice in the house, baby.
What's happening?
What's going on, champ?
Not much.
Man, how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, Thanksgiving was good, man. Thanksgiving was good. I ate a lot. I had fun with some family. Right now, looking at the Georgia game right now, it's not looking good for Georgia, but we ain't gonna worry about that right now.
Not at all. Not at all. Now we was talking before you got on. We was talking about TNBA. We was talking about Houston. I want to congratulate you because I know you was on the number. Y'all won first place.
First place, yeah.
Yeah.
For men's teams, we won first place.
That is big. Congratulations. You see Tyrone. He said you got my mini-me on.
Tyrone's stupid. Tyrone commented already. I see.
So I want to say first, like I said, I want to say if you want to give your opinion on how Houston went with the TNBA. I was just telling them I had a great time there. If you want to give your opinion on how your experience was at TNBA in Houston.
I mean, my experience was pretty good. I mean, I loved it. You know, Texas is always a good state for the TNBA. It's a very big state. Got a lot of bowlers that from all around Texas. Where you look at Houston, Dallas, you know, got people from Louisiana driving distance. Of course, we came from Georgia, like you said. You know, we have some people from Cali that was there too. It was a great environment. The staff there was good. Food was definitely good. You know, the food trucks around the city, they were definitely good. The barbecue spots that the people put us on to, they were good too. So, I mean, overall, it was a great experience. I mean, bowling was pretty tough. I mean, it was, you know, very challenging with the lane conditions. But other than that, I mean, it was just a great environment.
Yeah, the environment was outstanding. I definitely enjoyed it. Now, let's talk UBA. As you are the world champ, and if I'm not mistaken, you're the longest reigning world champ that they ever had. Can you speak on your experience on winning and obtaining and being able to sustain the world championship this long?
Well, I can honestly tell you, like I tell everybody, you know, I never even expected to get as high as the world champ. I was just basically bowling. I wanted to become the South heavyweight champ at first, and then things fell into place. And after I forgot who that. Oh, I bowled Swade. I bowled him in pretty certain it was what was the bowling alley in Raleigh. I forgot the one that closed down. I forgot. But no, it wasn't Victory. It was the Woodhouse. Somebody's gonna comment and remind me. I forgot what it was, but that's. I want to say, yeah, it was somewhere up there. That's why I both swayed for the South Heavyweight champion, won and beat him. We had a real good match, and he's always been a good. I think we went 4-2, if I'm not mistaken, 4-3. But then after that, I knew once I bowled Jerry Didway, when I bowled him at Mega Bowl for the world belt, Jerry that beat me my very first title match. Jerry that beat me while I couldn't get the belt. So it was kind of we could say good friendly, get together rematch when he had the world belt at Mega Bowl. And we can honestly say that and if he's listening, we know we probably shot at about 40-10 pins. So yeah, it was a train wreck. It was a train wreck. But yeah, then I won the world belt from him at Mega Bowl. Great match. Then I had definitely had my good friend Nick Christie. I know he's listening. Me and him, we just bump heads everywhere we go. I bowled him about 3 times, defending the belt. Then of course you got Kyle now, who I bowled 3 times to defend the belt. So my experience with the world belt, it hasn't been an easy streak. I mean, all my opponents I've had to actually grind and bowl to keep it, and for them to say that I didn't know even after I beat Kyle that I held that broke the record for holding the world belt the longest, that actually meant a lot. I didn't even realize that. So it was a big accomplishment for me.
Now, when I got to see it at the last tour stop, and we kind of saw we always see it when you're in these belt matches, and when you're bowling with, like I saw it in Team BA, and like I said, I saw it at the last tour stop. How are you able to keep to turn up that extra gear to when you know, like, all right, I got to grind this one out? Like, what goes through your mind or what is the one thing that you really focus on when you get in that mode?
When it comes more to the grind of keeping the belt, it's like everybody knows me. I'm more of a on the lane type bowler. I don't let the energy, the loudness, the booing and all that get to me. I just, it's more of a grind of stay focused, and I'm the one that's throwing the shot, so I have to repeat the shot myself to be able to strike. And I was about to say, and then definitely like the last match I defended at the world belt when Garland, I saw him made a comment earlier when he came into the bowling alley and got everything pumped up as far as our district and, Juice is the champ and all that. That energy kind of helped me drive to finish the match off too. So, I mean, it's just bowling and just being able to grind and know what I have to do. And like you said, of course, at the tour stop, the last tour stop that we bowled y'all, we knew that scratch paper was going to be tough anyway. We knew. I mean, I know Demetrius is going to give it all, and I know who's your other 2 bowlers guy?
Greg Black and Don.
Greg, me and Greg been bowling since Real Bowlers Tour. We've been bowling forever. So I know me and him, we're going to go at it. So it's just more of, we know that y'all are going to strike. We got to be able to keep up and strike too. So let's just keep grinding, do what we got to do, make our spares, and make the best team win at the end. That's kind of how I look at bowling.
One thing I will say about that tour stop is that scratch pair. After the first game, it was like, I think the first game was close. It was probably, I think, the closest one, if I'm not mistaken. And watching y'all go into that second game, it was like all 6 of y'all had a laser focus. And it's like everybody knows, one of my favorite movies is The Last Dragon, which is on Netflix right now. So it was like all of y'all had that glow. And it's I know in the competition, like you don't see it from our view. It's like if I say, hey Juice, you won't even like you so locked in you don't even hear nothing behind you because like you said the energy was crazy when you're in matches like that and even like when in the TNBA and your whole team is striking. Can you describe what that feeling is far as the feeling of the team and then the feeling when you know you don't want to be the one to let the team down when everybody's on.
Well, you actually just kind of said it just by your last statement too, just like you just said, and that's kind of how I took the men's team that we came in first place on because I'm bowling with Tyrone, Ant Richardson, and AJ, and Tyrone and Ant shooting 780 and I shoot 717. I'm like, well, I mean, if I don't strike, I feel like I let the team down. So it was just more of if I see them strike, I'm gonna do my best strike. And I saw Tyrone's comment just a few minutes ago talking about as much as he done beat up on me, that's how he done got better. Tyrone, we'll talk about that later, okay? I know what you're trying to say about that. We can go back to 2016, but we ain't gonna talk about what happened in 2016. We're not gonna talk about that on the podcast right now. Tyrone can tell you that, but that a different day. But yeah, it's just more of the energy, just the atmosphere of seeing your team strike. Like, I need to strike. So let me go ahead and give it my best shot. That's pretty much how it goes. And that's pretty much how I went. And that's pretty much basically also another reason of where my grind comes from. I gotta keep up with the other bowlers. Tyrone talking about you got lucky. All right, Tyrone, we got it. I won in 2016. So it's okay, Tyrone. It's okay. It's okay.
But yeah, that energy, I definitely understand it because it's not that I've been. Yeah, I have. I've been on the team. With matter of fact, the first Dirty South Bowl at Del Grove.
Oh, the Deep South Bowl. Deep South Bowl.
Yeah, for the team event, it was me, Dana, Karan, and Marvell. And they were striking and I wasn't. And we ended up losing by I think like 10 pins or something less than that. And they were striking and I wasn't. And that's exactly, luckily they was able to carry me to a little pocket change. But I know, like you said, I have had that feeling where I let down the team, and that's a tough feeling. Well, not I didn't let them down, but when you feel it, so I can definitely understand the feeling of wanting to strike. But do you think a lot of it comes from your experience, for how long you've been bowling since a kid, or is it something that you think you developed as more recently as time went on?
I would say it's both. I did, like I said, I started off at a young age. I started out bowling when I was 7. My parents brought me to the bowling alley, and by the age of 17, I was already at like 205, 210. So I kind of got the experience of growing up as a youth bowler. But then, of course, like when you go, like back to like Greg, one of the biggest tournaments I started bowling in Atlanta was the Real Bowlers Tour. So big scratch tournaments that was happening every month. And, when you're bowling these competition as far as, I'm going to just throw a plethora of names out there. If I forget somebody, I know who you are. I just throwing some good names out there that I can kill them off the top of my head right now. But when you're bowling like Greg Black, you're bowling Tyrone, Isom Halls, Demetrius, Ant, Billy Rhodey, Jake Washington. I don't know. You know Jake Washington is, right?
I know a lot of people by face.
Okay, I'm about to say Jake Washington is phenomenal left-hand bowler. Phenomenal left-hand bowler. Who else is back bowling Real Bowls Tour? I mean, you got even some of the older people. You got Jeff Shaw, Stony Baker. I mean, it was a grind back then, bowling with the competition and learning the atmosphere. And the most important thing about the bowling is I know a lot of people get used to bowling on like the house shots, but when you bowl more on the competitive shots, it actually helps you become a better bowler. And it's like another thing, like Tyrone, me and him was talking while we was in Houston about this. If you don't fail at something, you really don't learn anything. You have to be able to get better from failing. Because if you just winning, you're not really getting better because you're just used to winning. It's the failure is what makes you a better bowler. And that was one of the biggest things that I took. He actually told me that a long time ago too, when I bowled him back in 2016 at the Rodman. After we bowled, we talked about it after that. And read what the comment says, average 250. That's Jake Washington. Yeah. So yeah, he's that's pretty much where it comes from. I've been through a lot of losses in tournaments, and it kind of just helped me become a better bowler. It helps me grind and grow to become a better bowler, which is kind of where it suits me at this right now in a certain situation I am. UBA World Heavyweight Champ, won the Rodman in 2016, a couple of mixed doubles championships with Claudia and Eric Johnson, and then we got the men's team tournament with Ant AJ now. So got a couple of victories
too. Can't forget that.
Oh, and then the world record. Yeah, the USBC record that we broke in Augusta at Turtles. So it's pretty much just.
And I'm glad that you said that, because I think that's a good point that we I kind of touched on it. I want to say a couple of shows ago about people getting frustrated and kicking ball returns and stuff. And you made a comment and you said it's hard to get good at something if you don't know how to fail at it. And I think that is a very good point. And I think Tyrone teaches that a lot. He always says he went to the Rodman 6 times before he cashed, and that experience to be the bowler that he is now. But that's the reason why he's been yelling at a lot of the new guys, as he says. But I think that is that's why this upcoming 2025, I definitely want to start having more. And I'm glad that we finally was able to do this, because I want people to hear how long it took. Like a lot of people that I see in the bowling alley, they think that new ball is just going to instantly make them Cal Trout, Jason Belmonte, without putting in the proper work. And that's one thing where I always say my game right now went to the decline, is because of I haven't been able to practice with my car situation. Everybody know I got in that accident. But I haven't been able to practice like I was, get this 215 average, which I worked so hard to get, and I'm glad you are able to say that, because I think a lot of people need to hear that, like your success isn't, didn't start yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So now with the WCS, and can you talk about that grind just in the WCS series? For people that's looking to join and really want to know more about it?
I can basically give an overview of it, because I've had a couple of bowlers, even on my team, asked about it. I know you bowling with who'd you just bowl with?
KC.
The double. KC, yeah. It's more of a grind, like you said, because of course, the competition that you're bowling. The WCS does require a good bit of traveling, which is also another thing about it. I'd say the more of the grind that comes with the WCS is knowing that you're traveling, of course, using your gas money. Of course, you got to eat. So you're spending money to get to your match. And of course, if you lose the match, you got to pay the lineage on it. So now you're paying on top of that. So that definitely puts you in a grind mode where, I don't want to drive 3 hours, lose, pay for gas, and got to pay for the lineage. So it's really a good grind. I tell everybody, if you want to join the WCS, I think it's a great event. I love the belt series. As far as holding the belts, it's good competition out there. Uncapped, you got the uncapped divisions, cap team, Vixens. They even made a Vixens tag team, which was new, which is very popular now too. The welterweight, cruiserweight. It's just a whole bunch of divisions that people can strive to want to join. And I tell everybody, get out there, give it a good try, see how I like it, and go from there. And if anything, it's also like another part of the grind is you're not used to bowling in the same house that you bowl every weekend league. You actually have to travel to different houses and new houses and bowl in them, which also gives you more feel of something outside of the state of Georgia. So it's good. I can say, I don't want to say it's good. practice because you're still spending the money, but it's a good experience to help you get better also with your bowling career.
Yeah, especially if you want to travel and do tournaments.
Yes.
And because he said bowling in different houses, understanding your equipment, those go a long way in the WCS. Now, you are one of the few guests that I've had on that actually have been to Battle Bowl. And I'm talking about the finals in Battle Bowl. You've pretty much done everything the UBA has to offer. We'll talk about the action matches in a second, but I would love for you to talk on that year and how the team, as a team, y'all got to Battle Bowl to the finals and what that experience was like. Because that was y'all first year. Well, your first year.
My very first year, and a couple of other bowls. Very first year in the UBA. Very first year bowling with Bufu. That experience was very, very challenging, and that definitely brings out the better bowler in you too. Of course, it was a lot of great bowlers on the team. We had me, Tyrone. I'm talking about this is the whole collection. We talking me, Tyrone, Jack Ness, Justin Gibbons, George Gohagan, Shannon Dowie. I'm trying to remember who all was in that final 9. Well, it was pretty much a good collaboration of the people that are bowling out in other districts. You got Jack, Heather, Tyrone, Charisma, me, Amanda, Franco, Leonard, Gohagan, AJ Rice, Justin Gibbons. It was pretty hectic, pretty stout team, and the finals that we went to were when it was in New Jersey and Newcastle in Delaware. We had a big battle as far as team wise. We bowled, I think it was the Hounds in our very first semifinals, and it was a very grind of a match. Had Leonard, Leonard, and I forgot who was on that handicap 2 or handicap 1. That's what I'm saying. Our team for that match was so pretty much that I was actually on handicap 1 majority of that match. So, and even in the finals, I was on handicap 1 because I think ours, if I'm not mistaken, our scratch pair was AJ, George Gohagan, and Gibbons, and me and Tyrone were on the handicap 1. So you can kind of see how we kind of had that team kind of stacked and ready to go. So, but that finals match, I'll tell you one, like I tell everybody, that finals in the Battle Bowl is a whole different experience than I've ever witnessed. It is just, I'm talking about energy, people behind you, cheerleaders, other teams, people from the North representing the North team, people from the South representing the South team. I'm talking about, it's electrifying. It was like, it was a one of a kind experience that I will never forget. And like I tell everybody that's in the playoffs, grind to get there. You're going to see it. Even if you don't make it to the finals, the top 8 and the top 16, those matches right there, they are electrifying even from the get-go. And I always tell everybody, even though Mega Bowl is the smaller event of Battle Bowl, you really want to go to Battle Bowl. Mega Bowl is a good start. I'm not gonna lie, Mega Bowl is still phenomenal. As far as the event, still, you got teams. Okay, Leonard Freeman just posted. It was AJ Gohagan and Gibbons on scratch, me, Jack Ness, and Leonard on handicap 1, and Tyrone, Jeff Leapart, and we had Josh Rondino. That was handicap 2. So
young Josh Rondino.
Yeah. But Mega Bowl is definitely something you would want to go to. Of course, it is a shorter drive because it's in Virginia. It is a great one to start off with, but Battle Bowl, I'm talking about the atmosphere, the friends you get to meet. You meet a lot of good people, a lot of good bowlers at Battle Bowl that are really, really competitive. They can help you develop your game too. That's where I met most of my unholy teammates too, was at Mega Bowl and Battle Bowl. So, but the grind of it is phenomenal. Believe it or not, it's phenomenal.
Now, staying on Battle Bowl, when you just kind of mentioned, but I want you to go a little bit more deep. Explain the action matches out there in Battle Bowl. Like, what's the atmosphere with those like? And like you said, I be seeing some big money being put up out there.
Oh, the action matches, you know, you can blame Dougie for that, yeah. But the action matches are there. I tell you what, another phenomenal event that happens as far as action matches at Battle Bowl. Well, it's at Battle Bowl. We really don't do it at Mega Bowl. I don't know if we're gonna try to implement it into the future, but what we do at Battle Bowl is we have a 24 versus 24 North versus South cruiserweight and heavyweight match. So pretty much you got two captains, and they pretty much draft the 24 heavyweights from the South versus the 24 heavyweights from the North, and we each put like 250 a man. So I think the last time we did it, it was
my first year. The last time,
yeah, I forgot. It was been a minute. And of course, it's still 24 versus 24. It's still a total points. But of course, you're trying to beat the trios on your pair to go ahead and stay up ahead. It's, you know, you got, of course, great bowlers from the North. You got Q, Marcus Bell, even though they stay more Southern, but their team is from the North. You got Q, you got Mush, you got Vargas, you got Burwell, you got Havel, you got that year we had Joe Navarro was bowling. I mean, they have a ton of great North bowlers, and like I said, 24 versus 24. Now, like I said, if I forget your name, I know y'all was bowling. I just, you know, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but 24 versus 24 was phenomenal as far as the heavyweight match. That was another great action match. And of course, like I said, you know, Dougie runs. I mean, bowling alley be closed, and Dougie still gets the lanes. Hey, who wants to bowl 5 games for this amount of money? I mean, it's crazy. The action matches at Battle Bowl are just amazing. And I knew Orlando was going to say that. Yeah, the best action match probably to this day was AJ Rice versus Joe Navarro. I think they were doing like, he says best of 7 close to like 10,000. I think they did $1,000 a game when it was Joe Navarro versus AJ Rice. Yeah, it was $1,000 a game if I'm not mistaken. It was pretty intense. It was pretty intense.
Dang. So like, yeah, that I can't. Woo. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Battle Bowl's in August. Battle Bowl is tough. I'm gonna get there. If my team, if I get there, if we get there, but I plan on going to Battle Bowl. It just falls right along with the military tournament, and I love the military tournament.
That's the only thing that that's another reason why a lot of people don't go to it, because they already have the military set aside and they kind of can't balance both weekends. So yeah, I mean, it's understandable. It's understandable. I understand the reason behind it, but you know, if you can ever get to it, it is definitely a tournament you want to go to.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that this year, because like I said, I want to. I ain't gonna be able to go to Mega Bowl because I'm going to the Robin. But yeah, you
do know that the weekends are not the same anymore, right?
Yeah, I know, but with all these kids,
okay,
it's a little different.
Okay, yeah. I'm about to say because my next belt defense is at Mega Bowl, but I'm not missing the Robin either. I'm not missing the Robin, so you ain't got to worry about that.
I ain't gonna lie. If I get back serious into refereeing like I was before COVID, I can get there. I ain't gonna lie, these mofos lost their mind ever since we've been back from COVID. Like, it's been different. So, And as you can see, I don't know if you was able to watch the game today. That Kansas City game was crazy.
Yeah.
I can't wait to read the article. We got a referee magazine. I can't wait to read that article about this game.
Like I said, I'm watching the Georgia game too right now, and they were down by 2 touchdowns. Game tied now, 27-27. So,
and they playing Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that I wanted to make sure that we definitely gave you your flowers because you're like I was explaining about Tyrone earlier. You're definitely one of the ones when you walk into the bowling alley, whoever's on them lanes know, all right, we got to take this serious. And to constantly know that you're bringing the best out of people every time they bowl you and they still coming up short, it's amazing to watch. Like it's something to look forward to. It's something, I applaud you ever since I met you. I know I've been, giving you your flowers because I love to see good people doing well. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely wanted you to come up here and get your flowers. It's definitely going to be war on Sunday, as you know, as we got this tour stop. Now with DSL growing, and when I say growing, I mean maturing as years go on. Can you talk about the excitement that you see the team where it's been and then where it's going now? Can you speak on that?
One thing that I do love is that we getting. I want to say I don't want to blame it solely on the new district how it's formed, but I do like that the district is now more in Atlanta because now we can get more of the Atlanta bowlers, which I'm not saying they didn't want to bowl, but the only thing was they had family priorities where they couldn't leave that far when we was bowling like South Carolina and North Carolina. But now that it's more central in Atlanta, we got most of our bowlers that now be able to bowl, so we can get more of a team chemistry going to see how we can further go down the road as far as setting up team strategies and everything like that. I like the direction that it's going. Amanda is definitely keeping up with the team. Of course, we got Tyrone is helping, Gibbons helping, me, Claudia, Tamika, Melvo. We're officers, so we're actually helping getting everything organized with the team too. And of course, we're helping setting up to get ready for the next Deep South Bowl that's going to be in February. So definitely going in the right direction. And I like the way that everything's going as far as the district, especially ours. I do like it that every team is now more centrally in Atlanta, so it's more of a good competition. We know it's really just us. We don't have other bowlers coming in. We can just kind of focus on us. But of course, there's the interconferences matches where we have to go against other bowlers. But other than that, I do like that the now the Atlanta, I call it the Atlanta district. I forget if it's called Deep South or whatever. Yeah, the more of the Atlanta district is more centralized where everybody can bowl, and now you can get more of the other bowlers even come out just to support. Even if they're not bowling, they're still in the back to help support. They don't have to drive that far. So I like the way that that's going, and I think we just keep up the good work and keep it going from there.
Yeah, I agree. I like the growth of the division. The only thing I did love, I miss the travel. I miss seeing the other teams only because, we bowl with a lot of each other already in leagues and stuff. That's the only reason. But I do miss, mixing it up with Complete Anarchy, Gatekeepers, Savages, and other teams. That was fun. But even speaking on the growth of the division, what would you say to the new teams that's coming in? Like, if you had to give advice to new teams their first year, the ones that are struggling and the ones that are finding success earlier, what kind of advice would you give them?
Just don't give up. Just don't give up. Like I said, even with because I forgot what year was it. I'm not going to say the year that we went to when we both with Buford went to the final, but it's been a plethora of teams that first time teams that they made the playoffs the very first year. They grind, they put good team strategy together. Team don't look good on paper, but for some reason they bowl together as good trios, good strategy to win their matches, get the points, and they make it to the playoffs. I just say don't let back to what we're saying, don't let the failures get to you. Just let them go, focus, get back on bowling, make the next tour stop, make up the points, win, and just keep everything going and just don't never give up. That's the best advice I give to the new team. even though you're a new team, man, you're getting used to the district, you're getting used to the loudness, the people yelling, the energy. Don't let it phase you. Don't give up. Just roll with it, grind with it, and never give up. And you'll see next year you'll start to have more fun.
Yeah, I could definitely say I agree with that. I've seen it. Definitely the growth of us, Lord have mercy, because that first I say it on here a lot of times. That first year team had woo, just to think where we was like that was crazy. So I definitely agree. Luckily, I was able to look at teams like DSL and other teams to know I still had to recruit. Like I knew I couldn't let this be the end all be all, or this is where we plateaued. So I definitely my advice to them would be study the teams that's winning, study the teams that's losing. Look at lineups, look at the rosters that's going into the playoffs. Look at the type of bowlers. Look online. They have the league sheets. Everybody knows me by now. When after each round, I'm going to Miss Christy Lee at the end of each stop, and I'm taking a picture of all the league sheets, all the like. I study. I know what kind of lineup people like. I know what wins, and I take advice. I mean, I take from everybody. I see what works. So that I'm a true student of the UBA. Now, speaking of being a student of the UBA and enjoying, I love the UBA culture. I see a lot of people that is your caliber of bowler talk down to the UBA, where I see you as one of the top bowlers that actually embrace it. Can you speak on that? Why do you feel why do you embrace the UBA like you do?
Um, I embrace it because I see it as a great. I see it as a good. How can I say it? Organization slash type tournament wise, that's kind of helping bowlers become better at maintaining their. How can I say it? Um, Egos. You can say egos or head cases because, like you know, most times, like in league, if you're going against a team, you know, you're giving each other handshakes, you're clapping, you know, having fun, just enjoying the league. But the UBA, you're getting loud noises. You're getting people talking about you while you're on the approach. Like you're not going to do this. I believe I know it's not the right thing to do, but it's kind of making you a stronger bowler, trying to help you. Maybe I need to tune this out and just focus. It's kind of a teaching lesson, like helping you become better, even though the noise is there. So um, that's one of the reasons why I embrace it. I know a lot of people talk down on it, and I mean, the talking down can come from a lot of things. You know, you got the bowling alley drama. You know, this happened in the bowling alley, or this person owes me money and stuff like this not happen, or this person sandbagging too much, or why is they going off this average? You know, that's part of the stuff to get them to talk down about bowling. And it's bowling. I mean, it's going to happen. But like I said, it's more than embrace it. Just I see it as a good atmosphere, helping you become a better bowler, dealing with all the loudness and the talking, to be able to channel it out and focus on striking.
Mm, Yeah, I love the atmosphere. I love the like I said. Well, I used to love the travel before they stopped it. Uh, that's I can see that. League, you got to act like PGA, and UBA, you got to act like street ball. I can see that. Now, I forgot I had another question for you based on what you said, but
Did you see? You see what Garland just put? That's pretty much what
yeah.
the league in UBA is like. That is absolutely true, Garland.
Now, when you joined the UBA, I'm pretty sure it wasn't as big as it is now.
Mm.
I see a lot of instances now where people kind of tie UBA into leagues now. When I say that, I mean you may have a team of DSL unintentionally and a team of outsiders unintentionally. They're either bowling beside each other in league or they bowl against each other in league, which eventually, do you think that helps the sport with the culture, or do you think it's is it a time and a place?
Um, I'm gonna go 50-50 on that because we actually have the team down here, Shot Show. Majority of the team in Bowls League for Shot Show here on the same. They of course they're on the Shot Show. I'm sorry, they bowl league here too. And for league nights, they wear their jerseys. So I think it's more of a inspiration because people can walk up and be like, "Hey, what's the UBA?" They can start asking questions, learning about it. So I think it's a good thing where you can do it like that. I mean, of course, you see people that bowl, like you said, outside and DSL might bowl with each other in league too. I mean, that's just we've grown, we've been so close to each other, it happens. But I think that wearing I personally haven't did it that much in league where I do wear my jersey, but I do see like Shot Show, they wear theirs and people are actually coming to them and asking questions, what about it? So I think it is a helping pattern. But as far as the teams wearing, bowling with each other, I mean, we've been family and friends forever. I mean, we bowl each other, we bowl with each other. But I do think it can help. Like you said, UBA was small when I joined, as grown since then. I think it can continue to help it grow as things like that happen too.
Yeah, and I agree with what Tyrone just said. He said the UBA is one lane bowling. There are several lanes, and people want to cross those lanes up. And there's drastic difference. And I agree because Tyrone speaks on a lot on tournament bowling. And I can honestly say, as of right now, I'm a better UBA bowler than I am a tournament bowler. And I definitely, with the amount of tournaments that I've bowled, I see a difference, big difference. So number one, the biggest difference is a lot of the tournaments and scratch tournaments, you're by yourself. Ain't no team behind you. Ain't nobody in the crowd pumping you up when you strike, or telling you got them next time. It's just you alone in your thoughts. And I definitely, like you spoke on the focus earlier, learning to tune it out, learning to block out everything and focus on that next shot. I definitely agree. There is difference. Now, I also think that I think there's two, and maybe, I don't know, and you're more in the Augusta side than I'm sure you've been seeing a lot that's been going on in the group page with the action matches and Todd Tillery's and Garland's and Michaela with them. Do you think the action matches is a thing also that's coming into bowling or coming back into bowling?
I believe so. It is. And I know, like, I'll just go ahead and throw it out for the record. I did see the post on it the other day. I think Jaime made the post, but basically, let me just go ahead and say this for the record. When it comes to action matches, I don't want to see nobody talk down on a bowler. Like you said, I think it was the Vincent and the Joe Innocent situation. We don't need to talk down on bowlers to get stuff like that, because that can lead to more serious stuff down the road where people want to fight and potentially want to try to kill somebody. So I just want to put it out there. Let's kind of keep the action matches close to bowling, because you never know what's going to happen. But I do think definitely that the action matches are making their way back in bowling. It makes it more fun, even though it's money on the line and you don't want to lose it. It makes you, how can I say it? I think Tyrone, he told me to it in Houston. Oh, he told me to it in Houston the other, while we was there too. The action bowling is going to make you want to grind and beat the other person. But at the same time, like Tyrone said, it's just going to be the start of it. Until you bowl stuff like the Robin, where you got to bowl 16 games and keep up with multiple people. Action match, you bowling one person. Robin, you're bowling to everybody, and you're bowling them 16 games. Now, best out of 5, best out of 3. Bowling them for 16 games. You got to keep up with them. So the endurance, the stamina, the lane transition, knowing how to read ball reaction, all that comes to the fact when it comes to bowling. But I mean, the action matches, they can be a good start. I think how can I put it? It can be the good kicker to help somebody become a better bowler. But until, like Tyrone said, you get out there and do the most endurance tournaments where you have to bowl somebody for 2 days straight, that's what's making you get there. And like you said, Ty, Garland, and Kayla, they run phenomenal tournaments. I think now I definitely give props to Ty Tillery, because after the Real Bowlers tournament, which was a tournament that happened every month, Atlanta kind of, Chase, may rest in peace, Chase, yeah, he held tournaments too religiously every month. But after the Real Bowlers and, Chase passing away, things kind of started to die down when it comes to tournaments. So, and then Ty's, he's pretty much he's holding tournaments every month. He's even random tournaments. I mean, I've seen him. What was it? It ain't even Super Bowl, but he did something in October that related to football. I mean, just something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just stuff like that. Just keep bowlers doing something every month to be able to compete. That's a really good thing. He's doing a good job with that. So, I mean, being able to, like I said, just bowl tournaments become better, especially when you're bowling on sports shots. I mean, like I tell everybody, I mean, of course you want to bowl on a house shot, easier, a lot of scores, but the sports shots, the challenge shots, are going to make you become a better bowler, because you're going to actually have to see the transition before it comes. Like I tell a lot of people, what I do is, and I know Tyrone does it. A couple of the most of the PBA bowlers do it too. When you're bowling on tough shots, sports shots, it's good to know, especially when you got your lane assignment that you're going to your next lane. It's good to go down there and see how are those bowlers attacking that lane before you move to it. So you know what you can walk into. Like, oh, he's burning up 10, going right up 10. I know that's going to be going by the time I get there, so I'm going to have to move left and throw to it. It's all about knowing how to read and keep up with the transition as you're bowling. Whereas, like, going back to what I was saying, you bowl in an action match, best 3 out of 5, or I mean, best out of 3 or best out of 5, you're not moving. You're on that pair for the whole entire match. You can just keep up with it for the whole entire night. But when you got to move, bowl 16 games, that's when the endurance and the bowling knowledge really comes into play.
Now, I've seen a question in the chat, but I'm going to ask it a little bit different. Do you think when it comes to action matches, do you think you need to be a certain average or level to call out people when dealing with action matches? Or do you think if you got money to lose, go for it?
Let's go with this. This is how I say it. I'm not saying this to be, world champ level, big time bowl, like you said. Like, people know when I come to the bowl now. I just say this. I don't mind the lesser average bowlers calling out the big time bowlers, but don't do it as a point of you're going to walk in and just kick me and Tyrone or AJ's butt. Just know we're going to give you a run. It's going to be tough, but just know what you're walking into. I just think more like you said. I think, how can I say it? Because Tyrone's probably going to comment if he's still watching them, if he wants to watch the live feed. I don't want to say bowl your average type bowlers, because when, like at the Robin, there's no average. This is a men's division. So if you're 170, you're bowling against 230 bowlers, regardless. You know what I mean? So say action matches, if you want to keep it competitive as a friendly thing, yeah, bowl somebody's around your average. But if you're a younger, a lower average bowler is calling out a higher average bowler, just know that it's going to test you. It can be a good thing because it can kind of prepare you for the round because you got to give it all. You got to give it 110%. Whereas if you're bowling a 170 average and 170 average, you probably got to give it maybe 80, 85, 90. Best pairs will make these pairs win. But you do know when you bowl a high average bowler, the higher strike percentage is more likely going to be at the high average bowler than you. So I don't have an issue with the low average bowler calling out the high average bowler. Just know it can be a good test, but just know kind of what you're expecting, what you're walking into. That's all I say about that.
Now, because I think how he was looking at it, the person who asked this question as kind of like boxing. Like you got to spar. Sometimes you're going to spar better competition. Sometimes you're going to spar less competition. Do you? And I like when Tyrone, because Tyrone to me, I've seen him do it. I've seen him actually. Hey, what you got? 5, 4, 3. What you got in your pocket? You got a dollar game. And but as he's doing it and beating us, he's also teaching. You know, it's kind of like like I said, like a spar. Like, hey, keep your jab up. Hey, you ain't doing this. Like, and I think a lot of people miss the teaching that they can do if you're looking to grow the sport. I don't look at it as which I'm like I said, I'm learning, you know, I'm new to the area, new to the sport. And up north, and you know this because you just spoke on it a little earlier, up north is a lot more competitive. And you said up north is a lot more competitive where they're willing, like you said, they're willing to bet the house. But I think down here, I'm trying to get away from people taking it as disrespect.
I see what you mean by that. I understand. Yeah, I can definitely see what you're talking about. That's why I say it's I don't want to say it like you said. I don't take it as disrespect. We're not saying that you can't compete. We're just saying, like I said, just know what you're walking into. That's all I'm saying. It's not being disrespectful. Yeah, just know what you're going into a slugfest, pretty much.
Right. And I think a lot of times too, it can be a lesson.
Yeah, I mean, it can be. Yeah.
Like people like, and especially if the money's right. Like I'm not talking somebody coming to you. I'm talking somebody's coming and you interested in the money and y'all can make the money make sense. I'm a fan of because that's how I came up. Like we used to like I was a 160 average and I was I remember bowling. What's the thing that Scott used to throw? I used to talk about it here all the time. He used to do it from house to house with different boleros. I can't think of it.
One like a qualification type thing, I think.
Yeah, he had a match play at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it was a lot of I remember bowling in that, and then even bowling in no taps, and coming after no taps, we all pot bowling. And then I remember, like I keep speaking on a couple of years ago when we had the pot bowling game at Lilburn. Like those are the things that I think we don't have as much out here anymore. Like you said, when Chase passed, when Chase passed, it was now that you mentioned it, it was a huge shift in the culture down here. It almost, like I said, Ty definitely helped. It almost was a desert out here, especially after Scott doing it. And I think somewhere in there we forgot what made us better bowlers, because like I wasn't pot bowling with people in my average. I was pot bowling with people who was killers out there, including Tyrone was out there, Justin Gibbons, Panda. And I just think like now we forget about the training. We forget about, you know, the pre-UBA, before the UBA was talking junk with those pot bowling games. And I would love, and I hate to say this like this because I love Southern, but I would love for it to be somewhere in addition to Southern. Let me say it like that. Because some people, Southern is very far.
Yep.
Southern is very far. And we used to, like I said, we used to have stuff at Austell. There used to be a pot bowl every Friday at Austell. And then on the weekends, it used to be Douglasville. And then during the week, it used to be Lilburn. I remember at Lilburn, when I first came, we used to bowl. Whoever lost had to pay the lineage for everybody. Like that was, if you lost, so if you lose 2 or 3, and it's like 9 of us out there, like you had to pay the lineage for the game you was the lowest, you had to pay the lineage. Like, so it was like, we don't do that no more. And it teaches you, like, yo, you lose 2 or 3, be bottom 2, 3 if you want to. Like, that's a lot of that's a lot of lineage. So, but you mentioned something, and I want to backtrack just a little bit because it was something that I wanted to ask you about. And I want to get into a little bit more of the technical side of bowling for these last couple of minutes. You mentioned when you're doing those 16 games sets and you're doing the sport shot, you mentioned about ball motion and watching, where people are lining. And I've been asking a lot of people this because I think an area in my game that has that needs work on is I can see everybody else's ball motion, but it's very difficult for me to see my own. What tips would you give someone like me who's asking, how do you see ball? How do you see your own ball motion?
The biggest tip I can give you is, especially when you say you can see somebody else's ball motion, rather you can see your ball motion. It's also about knowing, when it comes to stuff like that, it's about knowing the type of rotation that you and the other person got. Because, looking at you, you're more of it. Boy, Tyrone put a long comment up there. Boy, we'll read that later. When it comes to more with you, you're more of the spinner type. So you got your ball that's going to spin through the fronts, but it's going to also save motion for the down lane. So depending who you're following, like if you're following like Tyrone or Terrence Bright, for example, me on occasion, when you're following those end over end bowlers, they're burning up the track from about 5 feet from the foul line going. Whereas your ball, with you more of a spinning, you're going to spin it through the front. So the part that we're burning up, you're going to get through it. But also just depending on, it's more of how the pattern's playing, because sometimes you got to manipulate your hand to dictate how you're going to play the pattern. So it's seeing that the end over end bowler is getting the ball to stand up quicker so it can be more sharper. Spinner's trying to get the ball to clear the front so it can save down lane and then come off the spot. When it comes to following the people that you're chasing, if you're seeing somebody really burning up the track 10 to 15 area, you don't want to jump on top of them with a spin, because your ball is going to spin, hook early, and then it might slow down and burn off. So it's more about knowing that, hey, even though I spin it, I need to go left and just spin it to the spot, let my ball slow down when it hits the friction, and then set into the pocket. So it's more of a basically the type of, it's kind of like your thing. If you see somebody throwing your thing that you're about to go down to, you really don't want to go on top of it. It's just knowing, is it going to be a good thing if I jump on top of them, or is it a good thing if I move left and get away from them when I get down to that lane? It's just more of a preference on seeing how your ball rolls, as being more of a spinner, spin through it, and more the down the lane bowler who's just more direct, like Terrence and Tyrone and them.
Yeah, I definitely wish I can Well, like I said, when I'm watching other people bowl, I can definitely see ball motion. I can see, like you said, the spinning and. But when it comes to my own, I think I was talking to Nick Reed, and we was going through some stuff, and I think I see it too late. Well, I don't pick it up early enough because I heard some people say if you're picking it up at the arrows, you're picking it up too late. If you're putting it down, too early, and especially if you're putting it down early, by the time you pick it up at the arrows, it's too late. Do you suggest watching or have you seen anything where you've learned with people who want to get better? What is one of the things that you watched or learned as you were coming up?
Definitely look at one biggest thing that I learned was but I tell you, the greatest advice is this when it comes to bowling. Do not be afraid to ask for help. I tell everybody that. Do not be afraid to ask for help. As much as me and Tyrone, we're doubles partners. Of course, we're going to bowl the holiday doubles in 2 weeks in Chicago. As much as we bump heads when we bowl in singles, we always tend to still help each other on and off the lanes. Don't be afraid to ask for help. That's the biggest tip I can give somebody that's want to become a better bowler. Don't be ashamed to ask. I don't want to ask them. I want to get it done on my own. All knowledge is good knowledge. Trust me. Tyrone done taught me some things I didn't know. And I'm not gonna lie, he's probably has some things in the chamber right now. He's probably not gonna tell me. But don't worry, I get it out eventually. So, but it's when you want to become a better bowler, just don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Help is always needed in bowling, in life, in general. Don't be afraid to ask. I mean, I've had to ask people about some personal things, going on in life. What should I do? Should I do this financial stuff? Just always having a person that you can go to for help is a big thing. It's a big confidence booster. So that's my key that I'll tell everybody that want to become better bowler. Don't be afraid to ask people for help. If you want to go practice, do this, make a time, get some help. Not saying you're a bad bowler, but just don't think you know everything. I mean, I've learned that. I never knew everything. I learned some things I didn't know. So,
yeah, Tyrone is a good one to talk to. I love being around Terrence Bright when he talks bowling. Like Terrence drop, boy. Tyrone and Terrence be dropping jewels just casually. Yeah, Tyrone and Terrence is definitely top. I definitely ask them questions, or if I just see them talking in a group, I'll just walk past. Don't even need to go that way. Just walk past with an ear and and just listen to see what they talking about. But I want to first, like I said, thank you for coming on. I know we've been trying to get this week. I see after I get Tyrone on, I'm definitely gonna have to get both of y'all on at the same time.
We can do that. We can set that up. Yeah.
Because I think that is going to be a funny show.
Yeah.
But I think I definitely, after I get Tyrone on here, I'm definitely going to have to get both of y'all up here. But I want to thank you, man. I wanted to give you your flowers, man, as an outstanding bowler, Hall of Famer. Tyrone shot a 300 when he got back, and I saw you said you couldn't let him outdo you. So you
800. He tried to get me, yeah.
So I wanna congratulate both of y'all. I want to congratulate you on the first place in Houston recently.
Thank you.
Man, it was a pleasure talking to you. Pleasure getting your knowledge. Definitely want to have you on more to actually talk bowling. I want to definitely make a series on that. I want to definitely make a series on that where we just talk bowling and how you see the lanes and stuff like that, get more in depth, help people out, like you said, who may still be scared to ask questions after that. I definitely want to open up this platform so we can all become better bowlers and make the sport grow. So I thank you for being a part of that. I thank you for, the kind words you gave to me about this show to keep going. And the people out there in Augusta. I get a lot of love when I come to Augusta. So big shout out to Augusta. I get people who I don't even know, just say my name and be like, yeah, I love your show, you know, and I appreciate it. You know, the ones, even at Quincy tournament, I had a gang of people come up to me about that last episode, and I appreciate y'all, man. So I want to thank you, Juice, for coming on. Big shout out to you. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your holiday weekends. Everybody, we will do the recap show Sunday or Monday. I don't know yet. Depends how I feel. Good luck to you Sunday. It's going to be fun. It's going to be very, very fun. It's going to be interesting at Norcross.
Oh yeah, trust me, I know.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe you and Claudia won first place in mixed at a TNBA in Norcross. Years ago, I think it was.
Yeah, a couple years ago. Yeah.
So yeah, I remember that because I think me and Erica was out of like third or sixth. So, but yeah, so I know you know Norcross very pretty well.
Oh
so
yeah.
Good luck. It's gonna be a hell of a match Sunday. But everyone have a good night. Just to let y'all know, don't be stupid. Use Uber this weekend if you're still out there celebrating. So,
Indeed. All right.